All right, so before I get into the new graphics update for console, I want to remind you guys when you log into the new update 18.2, when you get to the main menu, make sure you guys hit start and join in on all the events that are happening right now. There's 4 different events on this tab, and you need to be joined in on each individual one for your progress to be tracked. And there's actually a lot of stuff to earn right now. There's contraband coupons, skins, all of these things. And also on top of that, you can get some items for the new workshop, which is a tab that's been added into PUBG. You can also go to news and you'll see that there's a Discord event going on, which is kind of interesting. And there's a 22 to win the second version of this, which is getting 22 new players their first chicken dinner in PUBG if you're interested in playing random squads. So you can get all the information here. And then also, or finally, there's some new items in the store and there's a survivor pass. So if you're thinking about buying anything new or the survivor pass, which I recommend, I think this one's actually worth it. Make sure you guys have a Crafton account and are using a PUBG partner creator code. It's free to do and it helps us out a lot. So if you want to use mine, it's Blitz5. And if you do, please let me know down in the comments because I would like to personally thank you. It helps us out a lot. Now, getting back to the graphics update in TAA versus FXAA, which we're going to learn about in a second, the option for resolution priority or frame rate priority is gone. And now your console is going to be playing at the highest resolution and frame rate that it can handle. And this update is mostly for the advanced consoles in next generation. So when I say that, I mean any console that's Xbox One X and above and PS4 Pro and above, they will get the biggest benefit from this update and the improved anti-aliasing. So if we hit start, you can do this in the main menu, or once you're in a game, go to settings and then tab over to graphics. You'll see that the option for frame rate and resolution priority is gone, and it's just this anti-aliasing option. And also for me, if you're on the next generation consoles like the Xbox Series X, like I am, you'll be playing at the highest resolution possible, again, with the highest frames possible, which is capped right now at 60. So I have a 1440p monitor. It's playing at 1440p, 60 frames. If you have a 4K monitor, you will be playing at 4K, 60 frames per second. And I want to say here that PUBG still isn't the most optimized game, so I wouldn't go out and run out and buy a 4K monitor just for PUBG. If you have one, that's awesome. But PUBG did mention that 4K might not look that amazing. It is true 4K resolution, but that it might not look that good. And you can check this by going into your Xbox. I'm sure there's a way to do this on PlayStation. Go into your settings, TV and display, and you can see that my monitor has these options capped at 1440p. And then you can go back and just set it like that. So make sure that everything's cool that way. If you stream, you might want to make sure that your settings are okay because you might have to downsize or upsize your stream depending on what you pick. So then we're left with FXAA and TAA, which is the big question today, and everybody was asking that in stream. So FXAA is the traditional way that PUBG has been handling anti-aliasing. So if you're wondering what anti-aliasing is, I'll put some images or videos up on the screen here. So PUBG on console has struggled for a long time with anti-aliasing, and anytime they went to improve it, it would cause crashing issues. PUBG obviously has a lot of performance issues and memory issues, so obviously they would make the game better if they could, but then it causes consoles to crash. So we've been stuck with these kind of visuals for a long time, and as you can see, I'm walking towards the fence. It's shimmering. This is anti-aliasing. A good anti-aliasing would fix this shimmering. Things would look really nice. And you might notice this, or you probably have noticed this as you play the game. For me, it's been very frustrating. It's one of my least favorite things about PUBG. And when you go play on PC, you don't see this. It looks much more clean and crisp. And you go back to console and everything's shaking. It's hard to see if there's people in the windows. Things are moving around a lot. You don't know if it's a person next to the fence or if it's just shaking. So it's been really frustrating for me, especially for someone that has bad eyesight. And then with TAA fixes all of these problems. Look at the comparison walking towards the fence with TAA versus FXAA. So clearly TAA is the winner in this situation. However, it does come with some downsides. So this does decrease the performance, and this has been pretty noticeable. And there's a lot of people fighting in a certain area or around smoke. So a lot of people have been complaining about this. And I ran a test with smoke grenades. And unfortunately, on both settings, I was getting a little bit of frame rate loss on both the TAA and FXAA setting, but it was noticeably worse on the TAA setting. So I was talking on stream. I've only played with this for one day, but right now my reasoning is if you're going to play a game most of the time, like 98% of the time or 90% of the time, whatever number you want to use, you're not going to be shooting around a smoke or in a smoke. So for me, I like TAA right now because I can't stand the shimmering around the buildings and the fences. I feel like I can see people easier. I can spot people easier. I can shoot people easier. And those are the situations that I'm getting in 90% of the time. And the other 10% of the time, you know that you might have a little bit of frame rate drop or loss that does cause an issue. So if that's going to really bother you, if you're one of those people that you hate losing frames and it's really frustrating to you, or you're playing in the competitive scene or playing ranked, and maybe you're used to the anti-aliasing, or maybe it's never bothered you, then I would just stick with FXAA for right now. But if you're like me and you don't mind that kind of stuff and you just want the best kind of mix of performance and graphics and to be able to see people a lot clearer, then I would 100% go with TAA. And again, unfortunately, if you're on FXAA, which is the original setting, there's still an issue with the smoke grenade lag, which is super unfortunate right now. And I've already seen a ton of people complaining about it. So what I'm going to recommend here for everybody is that every time you're playing the game, before you play PUBG or after you're done playing PUBG, at least on Xbox, hold down your power button for 5 to 10 seconds until it turns off. This is a hard reset. This is different than turning your Xbox off. You can also achieve this by unplugging the power to your Xbox. And back in the day when PUBG struggled with a lot of frame rate drops and issues and lag, this kind of helps reset the memory on your Xbox and for PUBG. So it kind of clears the cache and helps with this stuff. And we noticed there was a big improvement after we hard reset our Xbox. And then throughout the day, it got worse and worse and worse with the smoke lag. So right after resetting the Xbox, it wasn't that bad, and then got progressively worse as the day went on. So if you're having a lot of issues with that, hard restart your Xbox. I'm guessing you can do this on PlayStation and then keep going. But right now, until PUBG creates some kind of better fix or patches this, which there's no word on that. I mean, it was a pretty big struggle for them to get to this point. That's kind of the option. And for me, I'm going with TAA. And if I make any kind of changes or updates, I'll be sure to update that in the comments down below. If this video helped, please just drop a like. Thank you guys a lot. So many people have been asking these questions, so my brain is just spinning right now, and I've been talking really fast because I want to get all this information out. So bear with me. But as always, if you made it this far, I appreciate you guys. Thank you all for watching. I'm Blitz5, and peace out.